Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video, I'm going to take a look at the PC that you should build for around about £1,000 here in the UK. This is November 2024, and this is before Black Friday and all the kind of sales. There are a few on, so the prices are a little bit inflated at the moment, as we'll see in PC Part Picker shortly, but you should definitely pick up some bargains. And alternatively, if you want to, check out the video description and some of the links. We'll put some links for some of these parts, which also might be cheaper, actually significantly cheaper elsewhere, especially one of the key parts of this particular system, which is the Ryzen 5700X3D. This is an absolutely cracking processor, and you can pick it up in the UK for around about £180. But if you're willing to shop around a little bit and you don't mind waiting a few more days, then you can head over to somewhere like AliExpress and you can pick it up for a considerable discount, of which I did, which is why I've got this clamshell and rather than a retail box. Other items we'll be taking a look at is the classic, or modern classic, that is the Radeon RX7800XT. This is a cracking card, 16 gigs of RAM, very, very quick, excellent value for money, and at the moment, in and around the £400 mark, which is about £100 less than it was when it came out originally, so significant savings can be made here. Alternatively, if you want to save a little bit more money, then we've got a cracking option with the Radeon RX7800. Again, another 16 gig card, and for those of you that are into your thermals and also keeping energy costs down, the 6800 literally sips power, so potentially that could be a saving both electrically and also financially, which is awesome. The platform we're going to be using for this is going to be the MSI B550 Gaming Plus motherboard. This is a great motherboard, excellent foundation for the system. You don't really need to spend more, of course, if you want to. Hey, I'm not going to stop you. Feel free to spend as much as you like, but this is a perfect combination for this processor, this kind of setup. You're going to get a lot of fun out of this. So let's head over to the computer. We'll take a close look at PC Part Picker and some of the options I've selected. Okay, so here we are. This is our November 2024 build guide under £1,000. And as you can see, the price here is £995.46. We've left a little bit in the budget for a Windows license key, which you can pick up from premiumcdkeys.com/Mike's Unboxing. You should be able to get yourself a Windows 10 professional license, which will also activate Windows 11 for around about €3, which is about £2.70, I think it is at the moment. So yeah, you're still going to be under that £1,000 mark. Potentially something else you might want to think about is a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card. That isn't included on this motherboard, unfortunately, so if you are planning on using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, then do account for that in your budget as well. Okay, so carrying on through our list of components, we'll just quickly blast through this because there's no real point deliberating over it, but I'll give you some of my explanations. So we've got the processor, Ryzen 7 5700X3D, basically very similar to the 5800X3D, but considerably less money, and that seems to be going up in price, the 5800, because it's becoming end of line. People are trying to snap one up because it is kind of one of the best processors you can get for this platform, so the prices are spiking, but this is still available relatively cheaply. And if you get it on AliExpress, again, links will be in the video description, you can probably get it for somewhere in the region of about £140, £130, which makes it an absolutely astonishing deal. In order to keep things cool, you can use pretty much any cooler you want to on here. I've gone with the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE ARGB. This is a dual stack, dual fan cooler. This is going to do a really good job and will keep the processor very cool indeed, so no problems there. Obviously, if you want to use something a little bit cheaper, you can do. If you want to go water cooling, that is entirely up to you, but it isn't entirely necessary. Motherboard wise, we've already discussed this a little bit, so the MSI MPG B550 Gaming Plus, a fantastic motherboard, often fluctuates around the £100 to £110, sometimes 120, sometimes down to like 90, depending when and where you're shopping. Here in the UK, does fluctuate, but normally around about the 100, 110 mark is what you're looking at. So this is PCI Express Gen 4. You've got a couple of M.2 slots for future storage. You've got USB Type-C, you've got RGB, all the pretty much usual features. The only thing you haven't got is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. If you're building a gaming PC, Wi-Fi is probably not the best idea. You are going to get some fluctuations. You're never going to get a perfect Wi-Fi signal in pretty much any home. So ideally, for a gaming PC, go wired. When it comes to RAM, so we've gone for 32 gigs on this. I think 32 gigs is a safer bet these days when you're actually mixing RAM. So if you buy 16 gigs now and you buy another 16 gig later, the chance of getting exactly the same RAM kits is basically, well, very, very unlikely. And at the moment here in the UK, £50 gets you 32 gigs of Kingston Fury Beast. That is DDR4 3200 CL16, absolutely fine. Probably better off having CL16 RAM at 3200 speed rather than going for like CL18 or CL20 for 3600, especially when it comes down to gaming. You want to try and keep those latencies down if you can. Storage wise, we've gone with the Kingston NV3 1TB drive. You can get some really great speeds out of this drive. It does do very well and is a significant upgrade over the previous NV2, which was also one of our budget choices. This one at the moment, about £53. You can pick up cheaper drives such as the Fitcore FN501 for about £40. Black Friday deals, there's bound to be some cheap ones for kind of like £35, £40. You should be able to pick up quite a few instances there. Again, for any deals, we'll post them in our Discord, in the Bargains No Chat, and we'll try and post some on our socials as well if you want to pick up a slightly cheaper drive when it comes to Black Friday. Graphics card wise, so we've gone with a Swift 210. This is the Radeon RX7800XT. You can get other versions available for similar sort of money at the moment in the UK. This is the cheapest one I could find at £419. So about £80 cheaper than the original launch price, which wasn't all that long ago. Well, it seems like it was forever, waiting for a new range to come out. So yeah, great card, 16 gigs of RAM. Alternative, like I said previously, the RX7800, if you can get one. You can pick those up for somewhere in the region of about £330. So potentially saving yourself another £100. And the difference between the RX6800 and the 7800XT actually isn't that much, unless you're doing benchmarks, in which case you'll notice a little difference. But in actual gameplay, when you're using it, they feel basically the same. Moving on to a case, and obviously put whatever case you want to in here. I've gone with one which I think is actually spectacular value for money. This is a little bit dearer than it usually is at the moment. So currently $65.47 for the Montech Air 903. We've seen this before on the channel. Get it in black or in white. Comes with a bunch of fans included. So you get three 140mm fans up front, which are RGB. And also you get a standard fan in the back. So if you get the black version, you get a standard black fan. If you get the white one, you get a white one. Really nice layout, nice case, a little bit on the big side, but in terms of value for money and airflow, you really can't do much better than this. Obviously, get whatever case you want. If you want to put it in a cardboard box, you're welcome to. If you want to spend a couple £100 on a case, that's entirely down to you. But these parts here, I think, are the choice ones at the moment. If you're looking at doing this on a budget, there isn't much better. Power supply wise, so powering this, I've gone with the MSI Mag A750GL. This is a new PCI Express Gen 5 power supply, 750 watts, which is more than adequate for what we got here. 80 plus gold certified, and it's also fully modular, so keeping the wiring to a minimum. Nice power supply. These MSI power supplies are getting some pretty good reviews, it seems, as well. I'm yet to actually buy one myself, but when the time comes, these I think will be on the short list of PSUs I choose. Again, power supplies are always in flux when it comes to pricing, so do pay attention to deals posted in our Discord or wherever you normally pick up your deals from. When you look at the end price there, so $995.46, including VAT, postage, etc. Again, you're likely to pick this up probably, I would argue, somewhere in the region of about £50 cheaper, maybe a little bit more, £75 cheaper when it comes to Black Friday, because you get those deals. So I'd imagine the processor, you'll probably see maybe £5–10 off of that. The Peerless Assassin, always on offer at some point or other on Amazon during sale times, so probably, I don't know, £5–10 off that. The motherboard, I would say at least £10 is going to come off of that. The Fury Beast, probably not going to change a great deal, maybe a £5 off of that. The NVMe drive, I would probably see that coming in for about £45, so about £10 cheaper. The graphics card, you might see a little bit of a nudge on that, maybe 5%, depending on eBay deals, that sort of thing. The case normally drops down to kind of $55–60, and the power supply, not too sure, you might get a 5% deal off that on some seller sites, but every little helps, and potentially could bring this down to about $950, in which case then opens up other options for maybe more RAM or maybe a different cooler, that type of thing. But anyway, that is my pick of parts. This is going to do a really good job for gaming. The Ryzen 7 5700X3D is an absolutely cracking processor, it really is. And if you're maybe on an older system, maybe you've got like a 3600, or maybe you've got even a 5600, 2700 processor in your AM4 rig, this is the one you want to be aiming for in terms of a gaming upgrade. Again, links will be in the video description. Feel free to check them out. So there you go, there are my choice of some really good parts. You could, if you wanted to, someone's bound to say this in the comments, AM4 is at the end of life, wouldn't it be better to go with AM5? And to be honest with you, it probably would. But in terms of FPS per dollar, as they say, or FPS per pound, as we would refer to here in the UK, this you can't really do much better. Like the 5700X3D probably trades blows with something like the 7500F, maybe the 7600, borderline 7700 on the AM5 platform, but it's going to cost you a significant amount more. Then you've also got a more expensive motherboard, the cheapest, what I would consider decent motherboards. For AM5, you're looking at 150, so about £50 more. And of course, you've got your DDR5, which again, 32 gigs, you're looking at somewhere between £80 to £100, so kind of double the price. So if you want to pay more, obviously you get more and you'll have more longevity in the AM5 platform. Perhaps if you want to see an updated video based around the same sort of components or similar sort of performance level, but on a newer platform, let us know in that comment section below, and I'll make another parts list, which potentially you might want to go and then buy for Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever you celebrate in your neck of the woods. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, smash the like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, then maybe consider hitting the subscribe button and the chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. I think that's it for now. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.